Good morning, folks, and welcome back. Actually, it's the afternoon. It's noon.
Still morning on the West Coast.
Well, that's a good point. That is a good point. It is still morning on the West Coast.
Half of the country, it's still morning. Half of the
true.
country, it's the afternoon. So you're technically right.
I'm technically right. I mean, we did do 15 years of morning radio. So, we've only been doing this show for, nearly a year now. But I feel like I need to do a full year before I can erase all those other 15 years of, go-tos.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I think, Jason? What we should do? I think to celebrate our 1-year anniversary of U.S. Home Talk, I think we have Evan do the one chip challenge again during our show.
Evan, are you?
How about you do the one chip challenge?
No.
Hey, I got something better.
Okay.
The gummy bear challenge, the hot gummy bear challenge.
Oh, the world's hottest gummy bear.
Yes, world's hottest gummy bear.
Evan, I mean, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just say that right now. I don't even want to say that I will and then not do it. I'm just not going to do it. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that you wanted redemption from the first episode, and you said that you would do it again.
I recall the same.
That was true, but that was back when I didn't have to run everything online. This is significantly more tenuous of a setup than a radio studio was.
All right, we're gonna give him a pass. But let's not forget, Evan. I can produce the show. I've done it twice this year. I mean,
That
it
is
was
theoretically
mediocre quality, but I did do it.
It's like a pilot who's just not good at their job. As long as the plane gets off the ground and comes back down on the ground, you did your job, right?
You did.
Might not have been the smoothest flight, but hey, you got the plane off the ground and you landed it back safely. You were good.
Yeah. And it didn't explode, so you're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
We'll keep that one chip challenge second round. We'll keep it on the table for now.
I don't think Marcus will do it, so I think we have to find a new. I mean, is it a victim? Would you say it's a victim?
Absolutely.
The one chip challenge. All right.
Yes.
All right, folks. This is U.S. Home Talk. We're live every Wednesday at noon on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate however you tune in, whether it's live or later in the week on our streaming platforms or our podcast. Best way to get hold of us anytime during the week is our fantastic website, ushometalk.com. I'm your host today, Jason Walgrave with Walgrave Real Estate Group and the Minnesota Real Estate Team at RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We have the great mortgage Michael Overson with Luminate Bank, Luminate Home Loans. Are they two separate entities?
They are technically right now. There's two separate entities right now. It's a little bit of a process to put the home loans underneath the bank umbrella, if you will. That's in the works. It's actually going to be one probably in the next month or two, I'm guessing. Nice.
So we'll just go Illuminate Home Loans for now.
Yeah, it'll always be that because we'll always keep that because Illuminate Bank. When you hear bank, what do you think of?
Savings accounts, checkings accounts, CDs.
Yeah, the bank type of stuff, right? When you hear home loans, what do you think of?
Mortgages.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we're obviously do mortgages. That's why we're going to keep the home loans because it just makes it simple there. You're talking to someone at Luminate Home Loans, talking mortgages. If you're talking to someone at Luminate Bank, you're talking about checking, savings, that type of stuff.
Good stuff. All right. Well, Luminate Home Loans. We got Mortgage Mike. Marcus, of course. I shouldn't say of course, but Marcus is off for the week. He is down in the great state of Florida with his wife and girls, 3 daughters. I believe they are on a Disney trip, staying at one of the sweet hotels on Disney. So hopefully the weather's nice and they're enjoying the sun and all the fun stuff down there. So it'll be good to hear when he gets back. Real quick before we get into it, we got a fun topic today. Important things for first-time home sellers. not buyers, but first-time home sellers. We're going to go through some things that you got to think about as a first-time home seller. But before we do that, quickly, Overson, how was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was good. I ate, it's like the one time a year I eat pie. So
Yeah.
I kind of go wild on it. Oh, there's only one pie at Thanksgiving that you go with.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Absolutely.
Pumpkin. Yeah.
Yes.
I ate a lot of pumpkin pie.
Or if you have the choice to go sour cream raisin, you can go sour cream raisin too.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Evan knows what I'm talking about. I bet Evan knows what I'm talking about.
Just saying that
sour cream raisin.
Me,
So if you have not tried it, don't give me that face, Jason. Don't give me that face until you try it. Okay.
You might as well have a broccoli tapioca pudding pie.
You know, you ever think about the fact that beef jerky is just cow raisins?
No, I had never thought about it like that, but I mean, I love beef jerky.
So anyway, sour cream raisin sounds disgusting. Might be your next favorite pie. If you get the opportunity, you're not going to find it everywhere for sure. It is one of those things where it's an older generation, type of pie out there. But if you can, you get your hands on one, and then tell me what you think.
Is it kind of like lutefisk? Is it similar texture and taste?
No, it's completely different. Lutefisk is completely disgusting. Although when we went to that Iceland trip a couple years ago, we had fermented shark. And that was probably worse than lutefisk. Yeah. So no, I don't recommend the fermented shark either.
I can feel myself salivating. Yeah. Rotten fish doesn't sound good to me. All right, folks. We've got our text line open. You can text in questions during the show, 612-234-7585. That is the text line. Any questions related to real estate, anything and everything real estate related, buying, selling, investing, financing, new construction, commercial development, home improvement, credit improvement, anything to do with real estate, you can text in those questions. Also in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube, you can put questions on there during the show as well. That number, 612-234-7585, is also our 24-hour real estate hotline number. So you can connect with Mike, myself, Marcus, Evan, any of our other partners that are a part of the U.S. Home Talk show. You can connect through that number, which is 612-234-7585. All right, important things for first-time home sellers. We talk a lot about first-time home buyers. We don't talk as much about first-time home sellers. And so maybe you've outgrown your home. Maybe your family has gotten larger and you need more space, or maybe your job has transferred you and you need to sell your home. This is your first home. And so now you're a first-time home seller. Number one on our list, we're going to talk about removing personal items. This is a big one, folks. The amount of removal really depends on how much stuff that you have. When I meet with sellers, whether they're first-time sellers or second or third-time sellers, removing personal items, I'm recommending generally that they're removing about 40%. And so what kind of stuff am I talking about? Things on the countertops, depending on, I don't recommend taking down all family photos. Many agents do, and they want you to completely depersonalize the whole house. I don't agree with that strategy. Can't have a picture kindergarten through 12th grade on every step going upstairs. That's too much. But removing, the stuff on the countertops, the island, the tables, we've joked many times in the past, the squirrel in the plant in the corner of the great room. Too much stuff, too many personal items, too many personal things, distracts the potential buyer. And it's hard for them to imagine that being their home, hard for them to imagine living in that property as theirs when there's so much stuff around.
Yeah, and we're talking about the marketing of your home when you're ready to sell. And so when you have too much personal stuff there, it's hard for buyers that are going to come in on the showings to imagine their stuff in those spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the dead squirrel, stuffed squirrel running up the dead tree in the corner, like we always talk about, they probably have something else that would go in that corner, but they can't visualize their stuff there when you have this weird thing over there sitting there.
Yep.
So depersonalizing is a big deal.
It is a big deal. Clear the clutter. And look, it's tough to keep the house, clutter free when you've got a busy household and maybe you've got, multiple kids or maybe you have a dozen kids. You got to clear the clutter. It's sometimes we see past it because we're coming home and we've got the schedule of things to do when we get home. Clearing the clutter is important. The more open space that we have in a room, again, the easier it is for a buyer to envision that being their house or them moving their furniture into that room. Clear walkways and opening up space is important, and clearing the clutter is one of the top things you have to do. Overson, you guys don't have much clutter in your house, though, I will say.
Yeah, with 4 kids, no. Don't have any dings on the walls or trim that's beat up either. which is really nice. It's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling. Upgrade the lighting. And I'll tell you what, so we had our team had a listing a couple months ago. Really, really nice house in that, $550 price range. Probably 15 or so years old. The lighting was just dated enough where it really made the entire house feel dated. And so sellers, they came in and they replaced not all the lighting, but a lot of it. And we went in and we took all new photos because the whole house presented differently simply by upgrading that lighting. Lighting is, it's trendy, like designs and countertops and, paint and flooring and so on and so forth. So you can upgrade the lighting and it can really make your house feel newer and more modern than what it was.
And you're talking everything from potentially fixtures to the actual light bulbs themselves, right? The yellow hue light bulbs versus
yes.
the daylight bulbs.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And so, so many homes in the last, 5, 10, 15, 20 years have incorporated a lot of, your can lights or your lights that are in and flush with the ceiling. Most of those they're going to last longer, but the actual light fixtures, maybe the pendants hanging over the island or the bathroom fixtures or even the exterior lighting fixtures, by upgrading some of those, you can really make the home feel more modern and more up to date. And there's great options on lighting. You don't have to go to the ultra expensive lighting store. I mean, they've got great options at the big box stores. And so that can be something that can really help update and make your home feel newer. Pet issues, folks. We love our pets, right? We have a dog, Cookie. We've pretty much always had a dog in the house. People have cats. Pets are fine. Most people love pets or they're at least okay with them. But if your pet has been a little, make sure to take care of those issues, whether it's a pet stain in the carpet or maybe your cat scratched a hole through the door so that it could get outside. We got to fix those things. We got to make sure those are repaired. If you do have, a cat, for example, we recommend that litter boxes, they go in a spot that isn't out in the open, that's kind of hidden a little bit more. If you have any pet issues, make sure that you take care of those before we go live on the market.
And
Overson, you don't have any.
We don't. Well, we got fish. We have fish now. That's as far as our pet stash is going to go. But we talk about it. Smells is, I think, the number 2 thing that can really affect the sale of your home, can affect buyers and what they think of your house. And so any sort of pet smell, you got to do what you can do to eliminate that, so that there is no pet odor coming from your house anywhere.
It's so important. I can't tell you how many homes that I've been in with buyers and we're shopping for homes. We go into the house. House is perfect. Lot is great. Neighborhood's fantastic. And all we can smell is dog, or all we can smell is cat. And it is an absolute deal breaker for many buyers out there. There's things that you can do to remedy that and fix those issues. But yeah, Mike, you're 100% correct. Got to make sure there's no pet issues.
So what do you got to do? You got to boil some cinnamon sticks or something during showings. If you got some pets in there, is that a thing?
No,
no,
but I've seen some weird stuff. I mean, we've gone into houses that we're looking at with buyers, and there's the Glade plugins in every darn room in the house, and it's like, oh my God, you guys, it's worse that you have all the Glade plugins in, but you're hiding something. So what is it, right?
Yeah.
There's deodorizers, there's companies that can come in, there's ozone machines, that there's a lot of different things you can do. But if you got pet issues, make sure you take care of those.
Probably don't steam broccoli right before a showing.
No, fry it in butter and garlic.
Cook some eggs right before showing.
We're talking about important things for first-time home sellers, folks. Best way to get hold of us anytime during the week is our website, ushometalk.com. If you have any questions during the show, you can text those questions to our text line, which is 612-234-7585. That is the text line, 24-hour real estate hotline number as well. And then as you're streaming us live on Facebook and YouTube, you can ask questions in the comment section as well. All right, back to our important things for first-time home sellers. Update the paint. And this one's kind of a loaded suggestion, right? Most of the time, the sellers that we're working with, paint touch-ups are enough, or maybe just the wall going up the stairs, or maybe there's certain higher activity walls that need to be addressed. If you had your teenager talk you into letting them paint their room black, for example, so that they could enjoy their what are those lights?
LEDs, black lights.
So we don't generally recommend that you have to repaint the whole house. But if you've got some ultra bold colors in areas, 15 years ago, they did these, it was pretty popular to have these huge accent walls. Like the one great room wall would be all dark red or something. And updating the paint, even if it's just paint touch-ups, can really help. Ceiling, ceilings have to be, make sure you're taking a look at the ceiling paint as well. And again, that kind of brings that smell portion into it too. If you've got fresh paint, I think it presents better than if you don't.
That's what I was going to say. The secondary benefit you get of paint is you get that new paint smell. Mm-hmm. And most people like that. Anything new, right? New car smell, new paint smell in the house. Most people will be attracted to something like that.
Yeah, they will. Do a thorough cleaning, folks. We do recommend much of the time to hire a professional cleaning company to come in and do a deep clean, a pre-list, pre-market deep clean of your home. And that they're going to do things like the fan blades. They're going to do the vents. They're going to clean out, the things that you don't generally do when you're doing your weekly cleaning. But doing a thorough cleaning is really important for a number of reasons. One, because it just presents better when the house is clean. It smells better. A buyer's perception of how well you've cared for that home is directly tied to the cleanliness of the home. And so doing a deep clean and maybe even hiring somebody to do it can really help the sale.
Yep. It's kind of like showering for me. I do it once a week, whether I need it or not. You know what I mean? And your home, you should stay on top of that. Keep it nice and tidy, because it is a big, I think of my wife whenever we talk about cleaning. Here's my wife's pet peeve, right? Dust on top of the floor trim, right? How many people are actually going to look at, you got your floor trim down there, and she'll run her finger across it. and that's one of her hot buttons, right? And buyers are weird like that, right?
Yes.
A buyer could completely overlook some big blob on the wall or something over here, but one tiny little thing over here, you never know what the trigger is for the buyers. And so that deep clean, especially having a company come in and do that stuff, they're going to do the base trim, right? They're going to dust that off. They're going to clean that. They're going to do the ceiling fan blades, all that little stuff that you never really think about.
Yeah, I was out with a client recently, and we were looking at, it was, maybe a $750,000 house, newer, only a couple years old, nicely built, and we're walking through, and I was noticing a few construction things that weren't the highest quality, but what he was looking at, the dust on the trim. I mean, literally. Yeah, I'm not interested in this house. And I mean, he liked the lot, he liked the house, but the dust on the trim, he's like, yeah, they didn't take care of it, so I'm not interested. Which was, I mean that's a strong opinion, stronger than I think most, but it mattered, and if that house would have had a deep clean, maybe it would have been an option for the buyer.
Right.
Excuse me.
Get it?
I got a bit of a cough here.
I see that. Well, it's that
All
season,
right.
Jason.
It is that season.
Our lake's frozen over now, so the entire lake is frozen. Not just the
Is
bays,
it?
the entire lake's frozen now. Yeah. So
how deep is it? How thick is the ice, rather?
well, I mean, if you go walk on there, you're going through for sure. It's probably only an inch and a half at this point. But the key here is once the lake freezes over solid, right? It usually doesn't go back. It usually doesn't open up. It usually will stay the same, or the ice gets thicker, which is good news because I like ice fishing. And so hopefully this is the start of, getting it ready for the ice house to go on.
So speaking of ice, so we've got this pond behind our house, as you know, and so this was on Saturday, and I'm looking out the window, and there's Theodore out there skating on the pond, and so I go out there, and I'm like, Theodore, what are you doing? I said, there's no way this ice is thick enough for you to skate on. He's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. So I'm like, well, really? So I start walking out there. Of course, the ice is going, I'm starting to crack, and I didn't fall through, but and he's like, oh, you weigh 3 times as much as I do, so it's no problem. Now, granted, our kids wear FXR jackets, which have the built-in flotation device or whatever. So part of me is like, when I was out there with him, I was like, man, I kind of hope he just falls through and it scares the crap out of him, and then hopefully he won't do it again. So, but anyway,
right.
All right.
Well, the ponds are definitely thicker ice. Any smaller body of water like that, definitely thicker. Like you could probably walk across our bays right now, I'm guessing.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Main part of the lake, no. The main part of the lake literally just froze 2 nights ago, so there's maybe an inch on there. So.
Is it pretty clear? Can you see through the ice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
pretty cool.
If you went down there,
yeah.
it's weird. It would freak you out because you'd be.
It's like you're walking.
Looks like you're walking on water. Yeah. Yeah. It's
That's
crazy.
Awesome. Curb appeal, folks. Making sure the front of your house, the curb appeal looks good. This goes from making sure the bushes are trimmed up, the lawn is mowed and trimmed. If you're talking about winter months, if there's snow, making sure the driveway and sidewalks are shoveled. Curb appeal is important because it's the first thing that the buyers see. I can't tell you how many times over the years that I've been out showing homes with clients, we've pulled up to a home and they're like, no, not interested, and just simply because of the curb appeal, things like, how's the front door present? Is it clean? Does it need to be painted? You got some new hardware. Maybe you need new garage doors. Maybe the driveway needs to be repaired or fixed, but curb appeal is important because it's the first thing the buyers are going to see when they're physically coming to your house. So make sure you take a look at the curb appeal. Washing the exterior of your home, having it power washed. We don't do this enough. We probably have it done every number of years, but I'll tell you what, that can make a huge difference. Power washing your house, all the cobwebs and the dirt and the dust and all the things. Having your windows cleaned. This is one we recommend often as well, inside and out. I mean, that changes the whole feel of a house when you walk into the house and the windows are crystal clear and you can see outside. So curb appeal and washing exterior, including the windows, I think are important.
And I would highly suggest hiring a company for that, because
yes,
you ain't gonna want to do that yourself. Trust me. Save yourself the headaches.
And they're good. And they're the good companies out there. There's no streaks. It looks fantastic, and they get it done. They're really efficient too, really quick. You have any cracks? Do you have any cracks in the driveway, the sidewalk? Do you have any cracks in your stucco? Do you have any cracks in your sheetrock or in your grout or any of the flooring? Make sure to fix those cracks. Do you have any wallpaper? Do you have a mural in your great room of yourself? You got to take it down. Take down the wallpaper. Take down the mural.
You got to take the wallpaper down?
It is. I mean, man, we just don't see much wallpaper. I mean, sometimes in some of the higher end homes, they're wallpapering like a room or something. And it doesn't even really look like wallpaper. It looks like a faux finishing. But man, I've seen some wallpapered rooms they're quite
hideous,
terrible. I mean, you walk in and that's all you can think of. It's a pain in the butt to remove it. There's companies and individuals out there that specialize in wallpaper removal, but it is recommended that if you've got wallpaper to remove that. Clean the carpets. So we're talking about having the carpet shampooed. Polish the floors. Hardwood floors are fantastic. If they're super beat up or scratched, or they've got, the poly or the finish coming off, that can really, present poorly. It can send a message to the buyer that, man, I'm gonna have to spend some money and do all these things. A carpet shampoo or having all your carpets cleaned also helps with just the aroma of the home. You do some painting, you have the carpet shampooed, polish the floor. Those are all things that are fantastic for, and are what buyers are really looking for. Update the hardware. This can be, and we saw a lot of this at the end of the 90s, right? Mid 2000s, people were, they were buying homes that were built in the early to mid 90s, and it was just shiny brass.
Brass, baby.
Everything.
Yep.
The hinges, the knobs, the fixtures, it was overwhelming. But updating your hardware, maybe just in the kitchen, or maybe just in the bathroom or the front door or the handles, that can really change the feel of the house and make it feel more modern as well.
Hardware will do amazing things, especially on cabinets. You switch out all the hardware, get matching hardware on the cabinets. Even without changing the color of the cabinets or anything else in the cabinet, it will look completely different.
It will. It will. You can change the whole feel for sure. Finish up any projects that you've started. We've most of us have a to-do list of things that we got to get done around the house. Projects like, let's say you finish the basement, or you almost finished the basement, but you haven't done the trim work or the mill work, or you left a couple doors off. You got to finish those projects, folks. I mean, again, it doesn't seem like a big deal. I was looking at a house for a friend of mine. This was a couple months ago. Beautiful house in Lakeville, Rambler, executive. He almost finished the basement, but there was trim missing and a couple doors missing. And I was like, man, you got to finish that stuff. And, cause for some buyers, they can't see past even that little bit of unfinished work. So finish the projects that are around, that will definitely help. And it's what buyers are looking for. Rearrange. Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, so projects around our house, right? Like, I start some, and then, just like everyone else, it might be too big. You can't get it finished in a weekend or something like that. So, it's like my wife keeps beating me up on it, though. I'm like, babe, look, if I start a project, I'll finish it. You don't have to remind me every 6 months,
But yet she does every 6 months.
Every 6 months. It's on my list. You don't have to remind me every 6 months.
It's on the list. Rearrange furniture. So we have part of what we do is we offer staging consultation. So we bring in trend staging. Melissa does a great job rearranging furniture. I mean, it's so wild when you simply rearrange furniture and how that changes the feel of a room, making it feel larger, or if you don't rearrange it correctly, it feels smaller. So rearranging your furniture can be important. Uncover the windows. Folks, when we have showings and we're bringing people through, we want the blinds open. We want as much light to come in as possible. There's some pretty incredible homes that with no lights on in the house have tremendous amount of natural light that comes in. But if you've got the blinds and you've got the shades drawn, you can't really experience that. And so make sure you uncover the windows.
Embrace the feng shui.
And embrace. Buy fresh flowers and plants. So if you're talking about weather permitting, having some nice flowers out in front of the door. Mike, of course, he'd have a nice bouquet on the island for his wife that he buys her every week. Yep. Naturally, not just for selling purposes, but fresh flowers and plants, those things are generally received really well by folks. Create a welcoming entry. Again, it's important to bring, I think most of the time, to bring people in through the front door, through your front foyer. Make sure that space is inviting, it's comfortable. You don't have a bunch of stuff or clutter all over the place. I've shown homes where the only access was through the garage. And so I've got my buyer and we go in through the garage. The garage is like a bomb went off. And so that's our first impression, and it's like, bring people in through the best part of the house and make sure that it's warm and welcoming.
Do you have a welcome sign for him, Jason? Maybe just grab
I have a remove your shoe sign.
Do you have your 6-year-old draw like a welcome home buyer sign and have it up maybe on a easel, some sort of tripod easel or something as you walk in?
I think you could work with something like that. Could work with something like that. Okay. Next one they're recommending, excuse me, organize the closets. Excuse me. And this one's a little tougher, right? I mean, if our closets are full, right? That's what they're for, is to fill them up full of stuff. But if you can organize them, especially, master bedroom closets, you can really display all the different, places to put your stuff. And an organized closet will present a lot better. Is it more important to have the closet organized or the kitchen and great room? Well, the kitchen and great room, and so if you have to start there and hopefully get to the organized closets, but it is a recommendation. Organized garages as well. I mean, every time I walk into a garage and it's organized and everything is all neat, and it's something I notice. It's something my buyers notice. Wow, this garage is really organized, and I look around. I say, well, they doubt they have any kids. There's no way it would be otherwise.
Right.
Because we have like a weekly clean and organize the garage task at our house. The stuff that the kids do not put back in place it's pretty incredible. Couple more things, 2 last things to be thinking about when you're a first-time home seller. Important things for a first-time home seller. Have your safety equipment installed and working. So your carbon monoxide detectors, if you have a radon mitigation system, smoke detectors, make sure all those things, they have the batteries, they're working, they're not too old. They have a shelf life. I think it's probably around 7 years is probably the average on how long those are supposed to work or last. But the new buyer, they're probably gonna have an inspection. Those things are gonna be tested anyway, so you might as well get them updated in working order ahead of time. And the last one is be aware of recent developments that are surrounding your home. If you are in an older home, maybe it's 10, 15, 20 or more years old, and you've got a new development that's close by, make sure we're aware of what they're building and what those homes consist of. And so that we're able to market and compare, because that's your competition, right? And so is your home a little bit bigger? Does it have mature trees? Is it a more established neighborhood with, the parks are done and everything? And the new development it's all new. So it's going to be a long time before those things are in place. Important to know what's going on in the neighborhood or close by developments, because that's your competition.
Yeah, it's so true. You got to know what you're selling against. You know what I mean? So if you're competing against new construction doesn't always win. We talk a lot about new construction, how it's new, and
Yep.
you got the new house smell, and you have, maybe if you got a semi-custom built, you kind of built it the way you want to, or if they have the builder that says a buyer can come in and semi-custom it up, but developments may not have the mature trees that you have. It might be a smaller house because building costs have gone up. So now they've made footprint smaller, which has made homes a little bit smaller. So now you have maybe that extra space, or maybe you have the bigger lot that comes with your house. So there can be a lot of benefits with having an older or an established home versus a newer one. But knowing your competition, what you're selling against is obviously pretty big.
Yeah, that's good stuff, folks. We appreciate you tuning in today. We were talking about important things for first-time home sellers. Best way to get a hold of us anytime during the week is our website, ushometalk.com. We've got a real estate hotline number, 24-hour real estate hotline number is 612-234-7585. Again, 612-234-7585. Folks, we will be back next week live at noon. And until then, have a great week.